Tonight, you return once more to the wandering library that drifts quietly above the world. You step through its tall wooden doors and into the soft hush of lantern light. Shelves stretch endlessly around you, gently shifting, as though remembering your footsteps. A single book rests on a pedestal, bound in pale blue cloth. Its cover is warm to the touch, like it has been waiting for you. In delicate script, you read its title, Roman, A Quiet Evening in a Bathhouse. As the golden hour settles over Rome, you arrive at the bathhouse just as the evening crowds begin to thin. The sun hangs low on the horizon, painting the sky in shades of amber, rose, and deepening violet. The day's heat is finally relenting, giving way to the gentler warmth of approaching twilight. You pass through the outer courtyard, where a few late visitors linger in conversation, their voices soft and unhurried. The sound of fountains reaches your ears, water splashing into stone basins, a sound that has echoed in this place for centuries. The cobblestones beneath your feet are still warm from the day's sun, and you can feel their retained heat even through your sandals. The entrance portico looms before you, its columns casting long shadows across the ground. These columns have stood for generations, witnessing the passage of countless souls seeking exactly what you seek now: respite, cleansing peace. You run your hand along one of them as you pass, feeling the cool smoothness of the marble, worn slightly by the touch of thousands of other hands over hundreds of years. Inside, the temperature changes immediately. The air is noticeably warmer here, heavy with moisture and carrying the subtle fragrance of olive oil, herbs, and something else, something indefinable but unmistakably ancient. It's the smell of stone that has been heated and cooled thousands of times, of water that has flowed through the same channels for centuries, of a space that has absorbed the essence of all who have passed through it. The warm glow of oil lamps flickers against marble walls, their light dancing in gentle waves across every surface. These flames cast moving shadows that make the walls seem alive, breathing. The lamps are placed in niches carved into the walls, each one tended carefully to ensure the light remains steady and welcoming throughout the evening and into the night. You move slowly through the entrance corridor, taking your time, allowing your body to adjust to the change in temperature and atmosphere. Your footsteps are barely audible against the heated stone floor. The hypocaust system beneath your feet radiates warmth upward, making the entire building comfortable even as the evening cools outside. You can feel this warmth through your feet, a gentle heat that seems to travel up through your legs and into your entire body. Other visitors move through the space like shadows, speaking in hushed tones that blend with the ambient sounds of water. There's an unspoken understanding here that this is a place of tranquility, a sanctuary from the noise and chaos of the city beyond these walls. People naturally lower their voices, move more slowly, exist more quietly. The bathhouse demands it, and everyone who enters seems to understand this without being told. As you walk deeper into the complex, you pass the apoditorium, the changing room, where wooden benches line the walls and cubbies hold the belongings of other bathers. An attendant nods to you respectfully, gesturing toward an empty space where you can leave your things. You undress slowly, folding your garments with care, placing them in a niche. With each piece of clothing you remove, you feel yourself shedding more than just fabric. You're removing the identity you carry in the outside world, the roles you play, the masks you wear. Here, everyone is equal, united in the simple human need for warmth and water and rest. Wrapped in a simple linen cloth, you continue forward. The corridor opens into a larger space, and suddenly you can see the caldarium ahead, the hot room, where steam rises lazily from the water's surface and curls toward the vaulted ceiling. The ceiling itself is a marvel, even through the haze of steam. Traces of frescoes still show their ancient colors, blues and golds and deep reds, depicting scenes of gods and goddesses, of mythological creatures, of an imagined paradise that doesn't seem so different from this very real one. The sound of water is everywhere now. Not loud or overwhelming, but constant and soothing. Water trickles from bronze lion-head fountains mounted on the walls, each stream falling into the pool below with a gentle splashing sound. Somewhere, water flows through hidden channels in the walls and floor, creating a soft gurgling that you feel as much as hear. The fountain in the center of the caldarium produces its own distinct sound, a deeper, more resonant splash as water falls from a greater height into a catch basin below. You pause at the edge of the caldarium to take it all in. The pool itself is large and inviting, its surface disturbed only by the falling water and the occasional movement of the few remaining bathers. The water is so clear you can see the mosaic tiles at the bottom, an intricate geometric pattern of blues and whites that creates the illusion of depth, making the pool seem even larger than it is. The steam rising from the surface moves in mesmerizing patterns, swirling and shifting with air currents you cannot see. It rises steadily upward, drawn by the heat, pooling near the ceiling before slowly dissipating through high windows that allow both steam and heat to escape. Through these windows, you can glimpse the darkening sky outside, the last light of day giving way to the first stars of evening. You descend the steps into the caldarium slowly, one careful step at a time. The water is hot, quite hot, but not unbearably so. Your body adjusts with each descending step. First your feet and ankles are submerged, then your calves, your knees, your thighs. Each inch of new submersion brings a wave of sensation, the heat penetrating your skin, reaching deeper, beginning the work of loosening muscles you didn't realize were tight. You settle onto a wide marble bench that's built into the side of the pool, submerged just enough that you can sit with the water reaching your chest. The bench is smooth, worn by countless bodies over countless years, perfectly shaped to support you in comfort. You lean back against the warm marble edge and feel the tension in your spine begin to release, vertebra by vertebra. Through the high windows, you watch as the sky continues its transformation from amber to deep purple. The quality of light in the bathhouse changes with it. The oil lamps become more prominent, more necessary, their warm glow becoming the primary source of illumination as natural daylight fades. This transition from day to night, from sunlight to lamplight, marks a shift in the atmosphere of the space. It becomes more intimate, more peaceful, more separate from the world outside. The heat seeps into your muscles more deeply now, releasing the accumulated tension of the day, of the week, of months or even years. Your shoulders drop away from your ears. Your jaw, which you didn't realize was clenched, relaxes. Your hands, which had been gripping the edge of the bench, soften and float up toward the surface of the water. Time moves differently here. The rhythm of the city, its constant urgency, its endless demands, cannot penetrate these walls. Here, there is only the rhythm of water and breath, of heat and rest, of being rather than doing. There's nowhere else you need to be. Nothing else you need to accomplish. No one expecting anything from you. For this time, in this place, you are free to simply exist. The water laps gently against your body, against the sides of the pool, creating a rhythmic sound that is almost hypnotic. It's like a heartbeat, steady and reassuring, ancient and eternal. You close your eyes and listen to it, feeling it, becoming part of it. Someone across the pool pours water over heated stones in an adjacent alcove, and a fresh wave of steam rises with a soft hiss, spreading out across the surface of the water like a blanket. The temperature rises slightly, and you feel another layer of tension dissolve. Your breathing deepens naturally, matching the slow rhythm of the space around you. You open your eyes again and gaze upward at the ceiling, at the frescoes partially obscured by steam. In the flickering lamplight, the painted figures seem to move, to dance, to live. Perhaps they do, in their way. Perhaps everything in this ancient place retains some memory of all that has happened here, all the relief and peace and healing that have occurred within these walls. As full darkness settles outside, and the last traces of daylight disappear from the windows above, you feel yourself settling even more deeply into the experience. You are here now, fully present, fully immersed in this moment. The bathhouse has received you, welcomed you, and begun its ancient work of restoration. You rest your head against the smooth marble edge and simply breathe, allowing the warmth to continue its gentle work, allowing the peace of this place to seep into every part of you. There is nothing to do but be here, nothing to accomplish but this simple act of receiving what the baths have to offer, what they have offered to so many others throughout the long centuries of their existence. And it is enough. More than enough. It is everything. You have been resting on the submerged bench for some time now, your body acclimating to the heat, your mind growing quieter with each passing moment. The initial shock of the temperature has faded, replaced by a deep, penetrating warmth that seems to reach into your very bones. You feel ready now to fully immerse yourself, to experience the caldarium completely. You push away from the edge slowly, your movements languid and unhurried. There is no need to rush anything here. You wade toward the center of the pool, feeling the water rise higher on your body, chest, shoulders, neck. The depth increases gradually, and you let yourself adjust to each new level of submersion. When the water reaches your chin, you pause for a moment, taking a deep breath of the steam-laden air. Then, with a gentle exhale, you lower yourself completely beneath the surface. The water envelopes you entirely, and for a moment, the world above seems to disappear. You are suspended in warmth, in darkness, in absolute quiet. The sounds of the bathhouse are muffled to almost nothing. There is only the gentle pressure of the water against your skin, the sensation of weightlessness, the feeling of being held completely and safely. You remain submerged for a few seconds longer, feeling the heat penetrate every part of you. Your scalp, your face, your ears. Then you rise slowly, breaking the surface, water streaming from your hair and down your face. You take a deep breath, and the air feels almost cool in comparison to the water, creating a pleasant contrast that makes your skin tingle with awareness. You make your way to a different spot in the pool, seeking variety in your experience. Near the far wall, you discover a place where the water is slightly deeper, where a smooth stone ledge provides the perfect angle for reclining. You position yourself carefully, leaning back until your head rests against the warm marble edge, your body stretched out before you, floating almost horizontally in the buoyant water. This position is perfect. Your ears are just at the waterline, so sound becomes an interesting mixture, partly muffled by the water, partly clear through the air. You can hear your own breathing amplified, each inhale and exhale seeming louder and more present than usual. You can hear the beating of your own heart, a steady rhythm that seems to synchronize with the gentle lapping of the water against the pool's edge. The ceiling above is barely visible through the steam, an endless, shifting cloud that obscures and reveals in equal measure. The steam moves constantly, never still, creating patterns that dissolve as soon as they form. It rises in columns and spirals, in sheets and wisps, following currents of air that you cannot see, but can only observe through their effects on the moisture-laden atmosphere. Occasionally, a draft from a corridor sends the steam swirling in new patterns, creating temporary clearings in the white haze. In these brief moments of clarity, you can see the vaulted ceiling more distinctly, The frescoes that adorn it become visible for a few seconds before being obscured again. You catch glimpses of painted scenes, gods and nymphs playing in eternal gardens, dolphins leaping through azure waves, mythological creatures frozen in moments of grace and beauty. Then the steam closes in again, hiding them once more, keeping their secrets. The lamplight filters through the steam in strange and beautiful ways, creating an ethereal glow that seems to have no single source. The light is everywhere and nowhere, diffused and softened, creating an atmosphere that feels dreamlike, otherworldly. You could be floating in clouds, suspended in some realm between earth and heaven. Around you, the soft sounds of water continue their eternal conversation. The fountain never stops its trickling, water flowing from the bronze lion's mouth into the pool below, a sound so constant that it becomes like silence, a background against which all other sounds are measured. Water drips from the ceiling where condensation has gathered on the cool stone, each drop creating a tiny splash as it rejoins the pool. Water laps gently against the sides of the pool, pushed by the subtle movements of other bathers, by the currents created by the fountain's flow, by forces too small to see but strong enough to hear. You become aware of the other people in the caldarium, though you cannot see them clearly through the steam. Their presence is marked by sound and movement, the gentle displacement of water as someone shifts position, a contented sigh from across the pool, the soft padding of feet on wet stone as someone climbs out to rest on the heated floor. These sounds are comforting rather than intrusive. They remind you that while this experience feels deeply personal, even solitary, you are part of a shared human ritual, one that has been repeated countless times throughout the centuries. You close your eyes, and the experience becomes even more sensory. Without sight to orient you, you become more aware of everything else. The heat against your skin intensifies in your perception. You notice how the water temperature varies slightly in different parts of the pool. Warmer near the inlet, where hot water flows in from the hypocaust system. Slightly cooler near the surface, where the air creates some cooling effect. You notice the texture of the water itself, silky and soft from the minerals dissolved in it, not at all harsh or drying. Your breathing has slowed considerably now, matching the rhythm of the space itself. You breathe in deeply, drawing the warm, herb-scented air deep into your lungs, feeling them expand fully, completely. The air carries traces of rosemary and lavender, herbs that have been added to the water or burned as incense somewhere in the bathhouse. The scent is subtle, never overwhelming, but present enough to add another layer to the sensory experience. You exhale slowly, releasing the breath in a long, steady stream, letting it carry away anything you no longer need, tension, worry, the accumulated stress of ordinary life. With each exhale, you feel lighter, more at ease, more present in this moment, and less concerned with anything beyond it. The heat continues its work, penetrating deeper and deeper into your muscles. You can feel it reaching places that are rarely addressed. The small muscles between your ribs that work with every breath, the muscles along your spine that support your posture throughout the day, the muscles in your feet and hands that are constantly engaged in the small tasks of living. All of them are being reached by this heat, encouraged to release, to soften, to rest. Your shoulders, which had dropped earlier, now feel as if they're melting into the water. The chronic tightness that lives between your shoulder blades, that place where so many people carry their stress, begins to dissolve. It doesn't happen all at once, but gradually, almost imperceptibly. With each breath, with each moment of heat exposure, the knot loosens a little more. Your jaw, too, continues to relax. You hadn't realized how much tension you carry there until now, as it releases. Your teeth are no longer touching, separated by the complete relaxation of your jaw muscles. Your tongue rests softly in your mouth. Your face feels smooth, the tiny muscles around your eyes and mouth no longer engaged in the subtle expressions you wear throughout your day. Even your hands and feet, floating in the warm water, feel different. Your fingers are loosely curled, not grasping anything, not preparing for any action. Your toes are spread slightly, released from the confinement of shoes, free to move independently in the water. You flex them experimentally, feeling the water move between them, then let them relax again completely. Minutes pass like hours, or perhaps hours pass like minutes. In this space, time has no dominion, no authority. The external markers by which we usually measure time, tasks to complete, places to be, appointments to keep, have no relevance here. There are no clocks visible in the bathhouse, and you wouldn't look at them if there were. Time is measured instead by breath, by sensation, by the gradual deepening of relaxation. You become aware of a profound stillness settling over you, not just in your body, but in your mind as well. The constant stream of thoughts that usually occupies your consciousness, planning, worrying, remembering, anticipating, has slowed to a trickle. Thoughts still arise, but they lack their usual urgency and importance. They drift through your awareness like the steam drifts through the caldarium, appearing and dissolving without leaving a trace. A thought about tomorrow surfaces, and rather than engaging with it, planning for it, worrying about it, you simply observe it and let it go. It dissolves back into the quiet from which it came. Another thought arises, this one a memory from the past, and it too is allowed to come and go without attachment. You are becoming a witness to your own mind, watching it with gentle detachment, not controlled by it, but simply observing its nature. This state of being, deeply relaxed in body, quiet in mind, present in the moment, is what the Romans understood and cultivated in their bathhouses. They knew that humans need more than just physical cleansing. We need spaces and practices that allow us to release the mental and emotional burdens we carry, to return to a state of simplicity and peace that is our natural condition, but one we so rarely experience in the complexity of daily life. The steam continues its dance above you, rising and swirling, hiding and revealing. You watch it with unfocused eyes, not trying to see anything specific, just allowing your gaze to rest on the moving patterns. It's hypnotic in the best way, drawing you deeper into relaxation, into a state that is not quite sleep, but not quite waking either. A threshold state where healing happens, where restoration occurs on levels both physical and spiritual. You hear someone enter the caldarium, their footsteps careful and tentative as they adjust to the heat and navigate through the steam. You hear them descend into the water with a sharp intake of breath, the initial shock of the temperature that you yourself experienced not long ago. You hear them settle, their breathing gradually slowing and deepening as they too surrender to the experience. This reminds you of the continuity of this practice, this ritual. People have been doing exactly this, entering the caldarium, adjusting to the heat, finding a place to recline, allowing the water and warmth to work their magic, for over 1,000 years. And they will continue to do so for 1,000 years more, or for as long as water flows and fire burns, and humans need what this place provides. You are a single moment in an endless chain of moments, a single breath in an endless series of breaths. And somehow, rather than making you feel insignificant, this realization brings comfort. You are part of something larger than yourself, something that transcends your individual existence. The bathhouse will be here long after you're gone, offering the same gifts to others that it's offering to you now. You take another deep breath, filling your lungs completely with the warm, fragrant air. You hold it for a moment, feeling the fullness, the expansion. Then you release it slowly, surrendering everything with that exhale, control, concern, the need to be anywhere or anyone other than exactly who and where you are in this moment. And you float, suspended in the warm embrace of the caldarium, held by water that has held countless others, warmed by fire that has burned for centuries, breathing air that carries the accumulated peace of all who have found sanctuary in this ancient place. There is nowhere else to be, nothing else to do, just this, just now, just breath and warmth and water and peace. And it is perfect. The intensity of the caldarium has done its work. Your body feels thoroughly heated, your muscles completely softened, your mind quieted to near silence. But you can feel that you've reached the natural limit of how much heat you can comfortably absorb. Your skin is flushed, your heart rate slightly elevated. It's time to transition, to seek a gentler temperature, a more moderate embrace. You rise slowly from the water, taking your time, allowing the air to touch your heated skin. Steam rises from your body as you stand, water streaming down in rivulets, tracing paths along your arms, your legs, your torso. The air feels almost cool in comparison to the water, though you know objectively that this room is quite warm. It's all relative. Your body's perception has been recalibrated by the extreme heat of the caldarium. You step carefully out of the pool, your feet finding purchase on the wet stone floor. The floor here is heated too, warm beneath your feet, but not uncomfortably so. You pause to let most of the water drip from your body, standing still for a moment, feeling the transition beginning to occur. Your breathing starts to slow, your heart rate gradually decreasing as your body adjusts to being out of the intense heat. An attendant appears through the steam, silent and efficient, offering you a fresh linen cloth. You accept it with a nod of gratitude and dry yourself slowly, methodically. There is no rush. You run the cloth over your arms, your legs, your back as best you can reach. The linen absorbs the water, but your skin remains slightly damp. In this humid atmosphere, it's impossible to become completely dry, and there's no need to try. You drape the linen around your shoulders and make your way toward the tepidarium, following a corridor that's dimly lit by oil lamps set into niches along the walls. The corridor is a transition space in every sense. Cooler than the caldarium, but warmer than the outside world would be, quieter, more intimate. Your footsteps echo softly against the stone, a gentle rhythm that accompanies your slow progress. As you enter the tepidarium, you immediately sense the difference in the atmosphere. Where the caldarium was intense and enveloping, almost overwhelming in its heat and humidity, the tepidarium is gentle and welcoming. The air here is warm, but not hot, comfortable rather than challenging. You can breathe easily without the slight effort required in the steam-thick air of the caldarium. The temperature is perfect, warm enough to keep your muscles relaxed, but mild enough to allow your body to rest and recover. This room is larger than the caldarium, with higher ceilings and more elaborate decorations. The architecture here seems designed to inspire contemplation rather than overwhelm the senses. The ceiling soars above you, supported by graceful columns that create a sense of spaciousness and dignity. The proportions of the room are harmonious, balanced, pleasing to the eye in a way that's hard to articulate but deeply felt. What strikes you most, however, is the floor. The entire surface is covered in intricate mosaics, works of art rendered in tiny colored stones. Tesserae, each one carefully placed by skilled craftsmen centuries ago. You walk slowly across them, looking down, appreciating the artistry beneath your feet. The designs are geometric in some places, interlocking circles that seem to spiral inward forever, creating an optical effect that's almost dizzying. In other areas, the patterns are floral, spiraling vines heavy with grapes and leaves, rendered with such detail that you can distinguish individual tendrils. but it's the figurative scenes that truly capture your attention. In one large panel, you see a depiction of the ocean. Neptune rising from stylized waves, his trident raised, surrounded by dolphins and sea creatures. The blues used in this scene range from the palest aquamarine to the deepest indigo, creating a sense of depth and movement. The dolphins seem to leap from the waves, frozen in their joyful arc by the artist's skill. In another panel, you see a hunting scene, figures with bows pursuing a stag through a forest. The detail is remarkable. You can see the individual leaves on the trees, the texture of the animals first suggested through subtle variations in color, the tension in the hunter's poses. This scene has been walked over by countless feet, yet the colors remain vivid, the details intact. The craftsmanship that created something so beautiful and so durable fills you with a sense of awe. You continue your slow circuit of the room, examining each mosaic panel in turn. There are mythological scenes, gods and goddesses engaged in their eternal dramas. There are pastoral scenes, shepherds with their flocks, farmers harvesting grain, daily life elevated to art. There are purely decorative patterns, mathematical precision rendered beautiful through color and repetition. As you walk, you become aware that this too is a form of meditation, this slow, attentive observation of ancient art. Your mind, already quieted by the heat of the caldarium, becomes even stiller as you give it something beautiful to contemplate. The mosaics are a gift from the past, a reminder that beauty and craftsmanship matter, that the spaces we inhabit shape our inner experience. You find a wide marble slab along one wall, a bench designed for reclining, and you settle onto it. The marble is still warm, but no longer hot, heated by the same hypocaust system that warms the entire bathhouse, but to a much gentler degree. The surface is smooth, worn by centuries of use, conforming to your body as you lie back. Above you, you notice details you hadn't seen from floor level. The ceiling is coffered, divided into recessed panels, each one decorated with its own design. Some contain carved rosettes, flowers rendered in stone with remarkable delicacy. Others contain painted scenes, though the paint has faded over the centuries, leaving only hints of the original colors. A trace of gold leaf here, a suggestion of ultramarine blue there. Even in their faded state, they speak of the wealth and artistry that was lavished on this place, the importance the Romans placed on creating spaces of beauty for the public good. Small windows are set high in the walls, near the ceiling. Through them, you can see that full night has fallen outside. The sky visible through these openings is now a deep, velvety black scattered with stars. The contrast between the warm, lamp-lit interior and the dark sky beyond creates a sense of shelter, of sanctuary. You are protected here, held within this ancient space while the night unfolds outside. The last light of evening has completely faded now, replaced by the warm glow of oil lamps placed in strategic locations around the room. The lamplight is golden and gentle, casting soft shadows that give depth and dimension to the mosaics, to the carved decorations on the columns, to the faces of the few other people resting in the tepidarium. The light seems to breathe, flickering slightly as the flames move, never quite still, always dancing. As you recline on the warm marble, you become aware of how profoundly relaxed your body has become. The intense heat of the caldarium loosened your muscles, and now the gentler warmth of the tepidarium allows them to rest in their released state. There's no tension anywhere in your body. Your spine feels long and supple, each vertebra resting comfortably. Your limbs feel heavy in the best way, not weighted down but settled, grounded, at peace. You close your eyes for a moment and focus on the sounds around you. The tepidarium is quieter than the caldarium. There's no fountain here, no constant splash of water. Instead, The sounds are more subtle, more varied. You can hear the soft murmur of conversation from somewhere in the room. Two people speaking Latin in low voices, their words indistinct, but the rhythm of their speech musical and soothing. You don't understand the language, but you don't need to. The cadence itself is calming, another layer of sound in the peaceful atmosphere. You hear footsteps occasionally, someone moving slowly across the mosaic floor, the soft pad of bare feet on stone. You hear the rustle of linen as someone adjusts their draping. You hear a contented sigh from across the room, a sound of pure satisfaction that mirrors your own feelings. You hear the gentle crackling from the oil lamps, the flames consuming their fuel, providing light and a trace of warmth. And beneath all these sounds, almost too subtle to notice consciously, you hear the building itself, the ancient stones settling with tiny sounds, the movement of heated air through unseen vents, the flow of water through channels hidden in the walls and beneath the floor. The bathhouse is alive in its way, a living system that breathes and flows and maintains itself, providing comfort and healing to all who enter. An attendant moves quietly through the room, and you open your eyes to watch. He carries a small vessel of oil, moving from lamp to lamp, checking the levels, trimming wicks that have grown too long, ensuring that the light remains steady and adequate. His movements are practiced and efficient but unhurried. He's performed this task thousands of times, yet he does it with care, with attention. There's a kind of meditation in his work, a mindfulness that you can perceive even as an observer. The smell of the burning oil mingles with other scents in the air, lingering traces of lavender and rosemary from the caldarium, the clean scent of heated stone, something herbal and green that might be coming from plants in an adjacent courtyard. The combination is subtle and pleasant, never overwhelming, just present enough to add another dimension to the sensory experience. You shift slightly on the marble slab, finding an even more comfortable position, if such a thing is possible. Your head rests on a slightly raised portion of the marble, perfectly angled to support your neck without strain. Your arms lie at your sides, palms up, open and receptive. Your legs are extended, ankles crossed, completely relaxed. In this position, you feel utterly at peace. Your body has nothing to do but rest. Your mind has nothing to solve, nothing to plan, nothing to worry about. For this time, in this place, you are released from all obligations, all responsibilities, all the demands that ordinary life places upon you. You exist simply as yourself, without role or function, without past or future, present only to this moment and this experience. You think about the countless others who have lain exactly where you're lying, in exactly this state of peaceful exhaustion. Roman citizens after a day's work, seeking the same release you're seeking. Soldiers on leave from distant campaigns, washing away the trauma of war in these healing waters. Merchants and craftsmen, philosophers and slaves, all equal here, all welcome, all seeking the same thing. The bathhouse was, in many ways, the most democratic institution in Roman society. Entrance fees were minimal, affordable to almost everyone. Rich and poor bathed side by side, their social distinctions temporarily dissolved in the shared experience of heat and water. In a deeply hierarchical society, the baths offered a rare space of equality, of common humanity. You find comfort in this thought, in the continuity of human need across the centuries. People have always needed rest, always needed healing, always needed spaces set apart from the ordinary world where they could simply be. The bathhouse provided this then, and remarkably, impossibly, it still provides it now. Your breathing has become so slow and deep that you barely notice it. Each inhale fills your lungs completely, but without effort. Each exhale releases completely, emptying you, creating space for the next breath. The rhythm is natural, automatic, requiring no thought or attention. Your body knows how to breathe, how to rest, how to heal itself when given the opportunity. You open your eyes again and let your gaze drift up to the frescoed ceiling, to the coffered panels with their faded paintings and carved decorations. Even in their aged state, they speak of beauty, of the human impulse to create and adorn, to make functional spaces into works of art. Someone decided, centuries ago, that this ceiling should be beautiful. Someone carved those rosettes, mixed those pigments, climbed scaffolding to paint those scenes. And their work remains, still appreciated, still serving its purpose of elevating the human spirit. A sense of deep gratitude washes over you. Gratitude for this place, for the people who built it and who maintain it, for the water that flows and the fire that burns, for the peace that seems to emanate from the very stones themselves. You feel held by something larger than yourself, cared for by a tradition of healing and restoration that extends far beyond your individual existence. You close your eyes once more and simply exist in this moment. You are warm but not hot. You are comfortable but not complacent. You are relaxed but not asleep. You are exactly where you need to be, experiencing exactly what you need to experience. And in this state, body at ease, mind at peace, heart open, you rest, allowing the tepidarium to continue its gentle work, knowing that there is still more of the evening ahead, more spaces to explore, more experiences to savor. But for now, this is enough. More than enough. It is perfect. You have been resting in the tepidarium for some time now. Your body settled into a state of profound warmth and relaxation. Every muscle is soft, every joint loose, every breath slow and easy. The heat has done its work thoroughly, penetrating deep into your tissues, releasing tensions you didn't know you were holding, creating a sense of heaviness that is deeply pleasant. But now, something in you stirs, a subtle restlessness, a quiet voice suggesting that it's time for something different. The ancient Romans understood that the body needs contrast, that prolonged exposure to heat, no matter how pleasant, eventually becomes monotonous. The nervous system needs variation, needs to be awakened and enlivened. And so they created the frigidarium, the cold room, as an essential counterpoint to the heat of the caldarium and tepidarium. You rise slowly from the marble slab, taking your time, allowing your body to adjust to the vertical position after its long recline. For a moment, you stand still, oriented yourself, feeling slightly lightheaded from the warmth and the sudden change in position. The feeling passes quickly, and you begin to make your way toward the frigidarium, following corridors you haven't yet explored. As you walk, you notice the temperature beginning to change. It's subtle at first, a slight cooling of the air, a decrease in humidity. The stone beneath your feet feels different, less warm, more neutral. With each step, the change becomes more pronounced. The air feels lighter, easier to breathe, less heavy with moisture. You can feel your skin responding, the pores beginning to close slightly, your body preparing itself for what's coming. You enter the frigidarium, and the difference is immediate and striking. The temperature here is dramatically cooler. Not cold exactly, but refreshingly, bracingly cool compared to the warmth you've been immersed in for the past half hour. The air itself feels crisp, clean, invigorating. You take a deep breath and feel it fill your lungs with a clarity that's been absent in the warm, humid air of the other rooms. The atmosphere of this room is entirely different from the spaces you've left behind. Where the caldarium was enveloped in steam and shadow, the frigidarium is clear and bright. Where the tepidarium was warm and golden, the frigidarium is cool and silvery. The oil lamps here are placed to provide more light, and their flames seem to burn brighter, sharper in the cooler air. The architecture here is different as well, reflecting the different purpose of the space. The ceiling is high and vaulted, creating a sense of openness and airiness. The walls are painted in cool colors, blues and whites and pale greens, that psychologically reinforce the cooling effect of the temperature. The overall impression is one of clarity, precision, elegance. Around the perimeter of the room, fluted columns rise gracefully, their capitals carved with acanthus leaves and other classical motifs. These columns support a coffered ceiling painted in shades of blue and white, designed to evoke the sky. Looking up, you can see clouds rendered in fresco, puffy white forms against an azure background. In the center of each coffer, a carved rosette adds three-dimensional interest to the painted surface. But it's the pool that dominates the room, drawing your attention and your anticipation. It sits in the center of the frigidarium, a large rectangular basin lined with pale stone that seems to glow in the lamplight. The water is absolutely still, like glass, its surface perfectly smooth and undisturbed. You can see straight to the bottom, where mosaic tiles create a pattern of interlocking circles in white and pale blue. You approach the pool slowly, your feet making soft sounds on the stone floor. With each step closer, you can feel the coolness radiating from the water's surface, mixing with the already cool air of the room. Your body, still thoroughly heated from the caldarium and tepidarium, responds to this coolness with a mixture of anticipation and slight apprehension. You know this will be a shock, a dramatic contrast to the warmth you've been enjoying. But you also know, from ancient wisdom and modern understanding alike, that this contrast is beneficial. The alternation between heat and cold stimulates circulation, invigorates the nervous system, strengthens the immune response. What the Romans knew intuitively, science has since confirmed. Thermal contrast is profoundly therapeutic. You stand at the edge of the pool, looking down into the clear water. You can see your reflection on its mirror-like surface, slightly distorted, shimmering faintly in the lamplight. The water is fed by an underground spring, constantly replenished with fresh, cold water from deep beneath the earth. This water has never been heated, has never seen sunlight, comes from a place of eternal coolness and darkness. You take a deep breath, preparing yourself mentally. There's a moment of hesitation. Your body, comfortable and warm, resists the idea of cold. But you know this is part of the ritual, part of the complete experience. The frigidarium is not meant to be skipped or rushed through. It's an essential element, as important as the heat that preceded it. You dip your toe into the water first, testing it. The sensation is immediate and intense. The water is genuinely cold, much colder than you expected. Not ice cold, but cold enough to make your nerve endings fire urgent messages to your brain. Your toe withdraws instinctively, and you smile at your body's automatic response. But you're committed now. You place your foot on the top step, the one that's still above the waterline, and then move it down to the next step, submerging your foot completely. The cold grips your foot like a hand, firm and uncompromising. You add your other foot, standing now with both feet submerged to the ankles. The sensation is extraordinary. Your feet, which moments ago were pleasantly warm, are now intensely cold. But it's not an unpleasant coldness, not the creeping, damp cold of winter, but a clean, vital, awakening cold. You can feel every nerve in your feet suddenly alert, suddenly alive in a way they haven't been since you entered the bathhouse. You descend another step, and the water rises to your calves. Your breath catches slightly, the shock spreading up your legs, your body trying to decide how to respond to this new stimulus. Your heart rate increases slightly, your breathing becomes more conscious, more deliberate. You're no longer in the dreamy, semi-conscious state induced by the heat. You're awake now, present, fully aware. Another step, and the water reaches your knees. The cold is progressing up your legs, and your muscles respond by tensing slightly, an automatic protective response. You pause here, giving your body time to adjust, time to understand that this cold is not a threat, but a treatment. Not something to flee from, but something to embrace. Your skin has erupted in goosebumps, millions of tiny bumps covering your arms and legs and torso. This ancient physiological response, an evolutionary remnant from when our ancestors had more body hair, serves little practical purpose now, but it's a visceral reminder of your body's responsiveness, its constant vigilance, its sophisticated systems for maintaining homeostasis. You continue your descent. The water reaches your thighs now, creeping higher with each step, each moment. The shock has evolved into something else. Not quite comfort, but acceptance. Your body is beginning to adapt, to understand that this is the new normal, at least for now. Your breathing steadies. Your heartbeat, though elevated, finds a strong, steady rhythm. One more step, and the water reaches your hips. You can feel the cold penetrating deep now, reaching muscles and tissues that were thoroughly heated just minutes ago. The contrast is dramatic, almost overwhelming. But you press on, committed to the full experience. You lower yourself to sit on the submerged bench that runs along one side of the pool, and the water rises to your chest. This is perhaps the most challenging moment. The cold water touching your torso, surrounding your core, threatening your body's carefully maintained thermal equilibrium. You gasp audibly, unable to suppress the sound. Your chest tightens. Your breath comes in short, sharp inhalations. But you stay. You don't retreat. You sit in the cold water and breathe, deliberately slowing your breathing, extending each exhale, calming yourself through conscious control. And gradually, remarkably, your body begins to adapt. The initial shock subsides. The cold becomes less intense, more bearable, almost comfortable in its own way. You lower yourself until the water reaches your shoulders, your neck. Only your head remains above the surface now. The cold envelopes you completely, and with that complete immersion comes a strange peace. The shock has passed. The resistance has faded. You are simply here, in this cold water, in this moment, fully present and fully alive. The sensation is clarifying in a way that's hard to describe. Where the heat of the caldarium made you soft and dreamy, the cold of the frigidarium makes you sharp and alert. Your mind, which had grown quiet and empty in the warm rooms, now feels clear and focused. Thoughts move quickly, precisely. Your senses seem heightened. You notice details you might otherwise have missed, subtle variations in the lamplight, faint sounds from distant parts of the bathhouse, the exact quality of the water against your skin. You notice how different the water feels from the water in the caldarium. That water was soft, silky, enveloping. This water is crisp, bracing, almost electric in its intensity. It doesn't embrace you so much as surround you, holding you in its cool grip with firm insistence. You look around the frigidarium from this new perspective, seeing it now from within the pool rather than from its edge. The room seems larger somehow, more impressive. The painted ceiling appears to soar even higher. The columns seem more stately, more elegant. Everything is sharper, clearer, more defined than it was in the soft, hazy atmosphere of the heated rooms. You become aware of your heartbeat again, strong and steady in your chest. You can feel it pulsing in your neck, in your wrists, in your temples. Your circulation has responded to the cold by working harder, pumping blood more vigorously to maintain your core temperature. This is good for you, this cardiovascular workout, this challenge to your system. The cold is strengthening you even as it might seem to be stressing you. Your breathing has found its rhythm now. Deep, steady inhalations through your nose, complete exhalations through your mouth. Each breath seems to oxygenate your blood more thoroughly than usual. You feel energized, invigorated, despite, or perhaps because of, the cold. You remain in the frigidarium pool longer than you expected to, discovering that once the initial shock passes, the cold water has its own appeal, its own particular pleasure. It's not the seductive, enveloping pleasure of the hot water, but a more austere satisfaction, the pleasure of challenge met, of discomfort transcended, of vitality restored. But eventually, you know it's time to emerge. You've been in long enough. The cold has done its work. Your body needs to warm again, to return to a more neutral temperature. You stand slowly in the pool, and as you rise, the cool air of the room strikes your wet skin, creating a new sensation, even cooler than the water itself, or so it seems. You climb the steps carefully, your movements somewhat stiff from the cold, your muscles temporarily less fluid than they were. Water streams from your body, and you can see steam rising from your skin, your body heat creating visible vapor in the cool air. It's a remarkable sight, a visible manifestation of your body's warmth, of the fire that burns within you, maintaining life and heat even in the face of cold. You reach for a linen cloth that's been left nearby and begin to dry yourself vigorously, rubbing your skin briskly to restore warmth and circulation. The friction feels good, stimulating. Your skin tingles all over, every nerve ending awakened and responsive. You feel incredibly alive, incredibly present, more conscious of your physical body than you've been in months or perhaps years. As you dry yourself, you notice the profound difference in how you feel compared to when you entered the frigidarium. Then, you were deeply relaxed, almost sleepy, heavy with warmth. Now you're alert, energized, light. The coldness has awakened something in you. Some vitality, some life force that had been dormant or dimmed. This is the wisdom of the baths, the ancient understanding of contrast and balance. Heat alone would leave you enervated, exhausted. Cold alone would be merely punishing. But heat followed by cold, warmth alternating with coolness, creates a dynamic balance that strengthens and revitalizes. The body needs both. The spirit needs both. You stand for a moment in the frigidarium, no longer in the water, but not yet ready to leave the room. Your skin is dry now, but still cool to the touch. Gradually, you can feel your body's heat returning, radiating out from your core, warming your limbs, restoring your natural temperature. The transition is pleasant, this slow return to warmth after the intense cold. You look back at the pool, at its perfectly still surface now undisturbed again, as if you were never there. It waits patiently for the next person who will challenge themselves with its cold embrace, who will seek the invigoration and clarity it offers. And you feel grateful, grateful for the shock, grateful for the challenge, grateful for the way your body responded and adapted. You feel renewed in a way that heat alone could never have accomplished. You feel awake, alive, ready to continue your journey through the bathhouse, knowing that whatever comes next will be experienced with heightened awareness and deepened appreciation. The frigidarium has given you its gift, the gift of contrast, of vitality, of awakening. And as you prepare to move on to the next phase of your evening, you carry that gift with you, alive in every cell of your invigorated body. After the invigorating shock of the frigidarium, you feel remarkably alive. Your skin tingling, your mind sharp and clear, your body humming with renewed energy. But you also recognize that this heightened state, while exhilarating, needs to be balanced, softened, integrated. The bathhouse experience is a journey, a carefully orchestrated progression through different states of being, and you're ready now for the next phase. You wrap the linen cloth around yourself more securely and make your way back toward the tepidarium, retracing your steps through the corridors. The temperature transition is immediately noticeable and deeply welcome. The cool air of the frigidarium gives way gradually to the moderate warmth of the transitional spaces, and finally to the gentle, embracing warmth of the tepidarium itself. As you enter, the warmth wraps around you like an embrace after absence. Your body, cooled by the frigidarium, responds with visible relief and gratitude. You can feel your blood vessels dilating, your circulation adjusting, warmth spreading through your limbs like liquid gold. The contrast makes you appreciate the tepidarium's temperature in a completely new way. Where before it seemed pleasant but unremarkable, now it feels absolutely perfect, the ideal environment for your body's current needs. You're not the only one who has returned to this space after visiting the frigidarium. Several others are here as well, and you notice how their presence creates a quiet sense of community. No one speaks much, but there's an unspoken understanding among those who have completed the circuit of heat, warmth, and cold. A shared knowledge of the journey, a mutual appreciation for the wisdom of the ritual. An attendant approaches you quietly, his movements measured and respectful. He's an older man, his face weathered but kind, his eyes reflecting decades of service in this place. Without words, he gestures toward a prepared area, a cushioned marble slab covered with fresh linen, positioned in a quieter corner of the tepidarium where the lamplight is softer, more intimate. You understand immediately. He's offering a massage, one of the traditional services of the bathhouse, an essential part of the complete experience. You nod your acceptance, grateful for this next stage of care and attention. You make your way to the prepared slab and lower yourself onto it, lying face down, settling your body into the comfortable surface. The marble beneath the linen is warm, perfectly, soothingly warm. The cushioning provides just enough softness to be comfortable without being so soft that you sink into it. Your face rests in a specially designed cradle that allows you to breathe easily while keeping your neck aligned with your spine. Your arms lie at your sides, palms up, open and receptive. Your legs are slightly apart, completely relaxed. For a moment, there is only silence and stillness. You close your eyes and simply breathe, aware of the warmth surrounding you, aware of your body settling into this new position, preparing for what comes next. You can hear the distant sound of water from the caldarium, quiet voices from somewhere else in the bathhouse, the soft crackling of lamp flames. These sounds create a cocoon of ambient noise that's somehow both present and easy to ignore, like a gentle background that supports the foreground of your immediate experience. Then you hear the sound of oil being poured, a liquid, flowing sound that immediately creates anticipation. The oil is being decanted from a larger vessel into a smaller bowl, and you can hear the difference in the acoustics as the bowl fills. The sound stops, and there's a moment of silence again. You can sense the attendant's presence nearby, his hands presumably warming the oil, preparing it for application. The first touch of oil on your skin is exquisite. It's been warmed, not hot, but body temperature or slightly above, and it makes contact with your lower back first. You feel it being drizzled in a thin stream, tracing a line up your spine from your lower back to between your shoulder blades. The sensation is both soothing and stimulating, the oil's warmth spreading across your skin, its texture silky and luxurious. The scent reaches you a moment later, lavender, unmistakably, but not alone. There's chamomile as well, and perhaps a hint of rosemary, and something else you can't quite identify, but that smells green and fresh and calming. The combination is expertly balanced, strong enough to be clearly present, but not so strong as to be overwhelming. The aroma adds another dimension to the experience, engaging your sense of smell in the ritual of care. Then the hands make contact, and you understand immediately that this attendant is a master of his craft. His touch is confident but not aggressive, firm but not painful, knowing exactly where to apply pressure and where to use lighter strokes. He begins at your lower back, his hands spreading the oil in broad, sweeping movements that cover the entire surface of your back, from your waist to your shoulders, from your spine to your sides. The initial strokes are long and flowing, designed to distribute the oil evenly and to allow your body to adjust to being touched, to being worked on. His hands move in synchronized rhythm, both working together, creating a sense of unity and wholeness. The pressure is moderate at first, enough to make contact with the muscle beneath the skin, but not yet going deeper. As your body relaxes into his touch, the pressure gradually increases. His thumbs find the muscles on either side of your spine. The erector spinae, those long bands of muscle that work constantly to hold you upright throughout your day. He works them systematically, moving from your lower back upward, his thumbs pressing in and sliding up along the muscle fibers, releasing tension, encouraging the muscles to let go of their habitual holding patterns. You can feel knots beginning to dissolve, places where tension has accumulated over days or weeks or months, places you didn't even know were tight until pressure is applied and you feel the slight pain pleasure of a knot being addressed. The sensation is complex. There's discomfort in having these tender spots touched, but there's also profound relief as the pressure releases what's been locked there. His hands move up to your mid-back, to that area between your shoulder blades where so many people carry stress. This is where you sit when you're working, when you're worried, when you're bracing yourself against the world. The muscles here are layered and complex. The trapezius, the rhomboids, the deeper muscles that attach to your shoulder blades and spine. The attendant works each layer patiently, his fingers and thumbs finding the fibers, following them, encouraging them to release. The rhythm of the massage is almost hypnotic. There's a musicality to it. The way his hands move, the pressure applied and released, the way each stroke leads naturally into the next. You find yourself breathing in sync with his movements, inhaling as his hands move up your back, exhaling as they sweep down and out to your sides. This coordination of breath and touch deepens the relaxation, creating a state that's almost meditative. More oil is applied, this time to your shoulders and the back of your neck. You can hear it being poured, feel the warm liquid making contact with your skin, and then his hands return, working these chronically tight areas with particular attention. Your shoulders have been raised, tensed, held tight for so long that they've almost forgotten how to drop, how to rest. But under the persistent, patient work of the attendant's hands, they begin to remember. He works on your neck with special care, his fingers strong but gentle, aware of the vulnerability of this area. The muscles here are smaller, more delicate than those of your back, but they're often incredibly tight, holding your head upright, turning and tilting throughout the day, bearing the weight of worry and tension. His thumbs work up the back of your neck, pressing into the muscles on either side of your cervical spine, and you feel releases happening. Tiny pops and shifts as things realign, as tension lets go. Your arms are next. He works on one arm at a time, starting with your left. More oil is applied, and then his hands encircle your upper arm, working the biceps and triceps with firm, milking strokes that push blood and lymph toward your heart. He works down to your elbow, massaging the joint gently, and then continues to your forearm, working the complex network of muscles there that control your hands and fingers. When he reaches your hand, he works each finger individually, pulling gently, rotating, pressing into the palm, working the small bones and tendons that allow for such intricate movement. You hadn't realized how much tension you hold in your hands until it's being released. These hands that type, that grip, that gesture, that work constantly throughout your waking hours. They deserve this attention, this care. The process is repeated with your right arm, the same systematic attention, the same patient work. By the time he finishes with your second hand, your arms feel longer somehow, looser, more integrated with the rest of your body. The attendant moves to your legs, beginning with your left. Oil is applied generously to your thigh, and his hands work the large muscles there, the quadriceps in front, the hamstrings in back. These are powerful muscles, the ones that carry you through your day, and they respond gratefully to the attention. His strokes are long and deep, working from your hip down toward your knee, pushing out accumulated tension and fatigue. Your calf receives similar treatment. The gastrocnemius and soleus, those muscles that propel you forward with every step, worked thoroughly and patiently. And finally, your foot. He works your sole with his thumbs, pressing into the arch, working out tightness you didn't know existed. He works your heel, your ankle, each toe. In reflexology, the feet are said to contain points that correspond to every organ and system in the body. Whether or not this is literally true, the thorough massage of your feet seems to create a sense of wholeness, of integration, as if your entire body is being attended to through the work on your feet. The right leg receives the same complete attention, the same patient work. By the time he finishes, you feel as if you're melting into the marble slab, as if the boundaries between your body and the surface beneath you have dissolved. But the massage isn't quite finished. The attendant gently taps your shoulder, indicating that you should turn over. You do so slowly, carefully, your body so relaxed now that movement requires conscious effort and attention. You settle onto your back, and a rolled cloth is placed beneath your knees to support them, keeping your lower back comfortable. The massage continues on your front side, though more briefly. Oil is applied to your chest and shoulders, and the attendant works the pectoral muscles, the front of your shoulders, places that often become tight from hunching forward, from protective postures. His touch here is lighter, more careful, aware of the vulnerability of the front body. Your arms receive a final treatment from this new angle, and then your legs, your quadriceps, your shins, the tops of your feet. Each area is given attention, care, included in this ritual of healing touch. Finally, the massage concludes with the gentlest of touches, the attendant's hands resting lightly on your forehead for a moment, as if in blessing or completion. Then he steps back, and you hear him move away quietly, leaving you to rest and integrate the experience. You lie still on the marble slab, not yet ready to move, perhaps not able to move even if you wanted to. Your body feels completely different than it did an hour ago. Looser, lighter, more fluid. Every muscle has been attended to, every joint mobilized, every area of chronic tension addressed. The oil on your skin continues to provide a sense of protection and nourishment, its herbal scent still present in your nostrils. But it's more than just physical release. Something has shifted in you at a deeper level. The combination of heat, cold, and now this caring touch has created a sense of being held, being cared for, being valued. In a world that so often demands that you care for others, that you produce and perform and maintain, this experience of being the recipient of care is profound. After some time, you're not sure how long, the attendant returns with a strigil, a curved bronze tool used for centuries in Roman baths for removing excess oil from the skin. He works methodically, the strigil gliding across your oil-covered skin with a gentle scraping sound, collecting the excess oil and carrying it away. The sensation is pleasant, the slight pressure of the tool, the feeling of your skin being revealed fresh and clean beneath the oil. The scraping is rhythmic, almost meditative in its repetition. Long strokes down your arms, across your back, down your legs. The sound it makes is distinctive, a soft, sliding scrape that becomes another element in the sensory tapestry of the bathhouse experience. This too is ancient, this tool and technique, unchanged for millennia, connecting you to every person who has ever been attended to in this way. When the excess oil has been removed, you're guided to a quiet alcove nearby, a small, semi-private space with a cushioned bench and a view of the tepidarium's beautiful mosaics. You recline here, wrapped in a fresh, clean linen cloth that's been warmed by the room's ambient heat. The fabric is soft against your skin, protective and comforting. You rest in this alcove, your body deeply relaxed, your mind quiet and empty. You feel profoundly at peace, not sleepy exactly, but in that state between waking and sleeping where everything feels soft and distant and unimportant. Your body feels both heavy and weightless, if such a contradiction is possible. You are utterly comfortable, utterly content. Through a nearby window, you can see that full night has settled over the city. The sky is deep black, scattered with brilliant stars that seem closer and brighter than usual. The moon, nearly full, has risen higher, its light silvering the edges of the window opening. Somewhere in the city beyond these walls, life continues, people working, worrying, striving, struggling with all the challenges that human life entails. But here, in this sanctuary, in this space set apart from ordinary time and ordinary concerns, there is only stillness, only peace, only the deep satisfaction of a body well cared for and a mind at rest. You close your eyes and simply exist in this perfect moment, held by the warmth of the room, supported by the cushioned bench, wrapped in soft linen, carrying in your body the memory of caring hands and healing touch. And you understand, perhaps for the first time, why the Romans built these places, why they invested such resources and artistry in creating sanctuaries of water and heat and rest. They understood something essential about human needs, about the importance of pausing, of tending to the body, of creating spaces where healing can happen. You rest, grateful and peaceful, knowing that the evening still holds more experiences, but content for now to simply be here, in this moment, complete and whole and utterly at peace. Time has passed, though you couldn't say exactly how much. In the bathhouse, time moves according to its own rhythm, unmeasured by clocks or schedules, flowing like water, sometimes quickly, sometimes slowly, but always forward in its mysterious way. You've been resting in the alcove, wrapped in warm linen, existing in that peaceful space between sleep and wakefulness, where thoughts arise and dissolve like bubbles in water. Eventually, a subtle restlessness stirs within you, not discomfort exactly, but a gentle invitation to move, to explore, to continue your journey through this ancient place. Your body has integrated the massage, absorbed its benefits, and is ready now for something different. You sit up slowly, taking your time, allowing your body to adjust to the vertical position. You feel remarkable, loose and fluid, as if your joints have been oiled, as if years of accumulated tension have been lifted away. You stand and adjust the linen cloth around yourself, then begin to move through the tepidarium, exploring areas you haven't yet visited. The bathhouse is larger than you initially realized, a complex maze of interconnected rooms and corridors, each with its own character and purpose. As you walk, you notice details you missed before. Inscriptions carved into doorways, small niches containing clay oil lamps, worn spots on the floor where countless feet have walked before yours. You follow a narrow corridor that leads away from the main bathing areas. The passage is dimly lit, intimate, almost secret feeling. The walls here are simpler, less decorated, suggesting that this leads to a more private, more contemplative part of the complex. Your footsteps echo softly in the confined space, and you can feel the temperature changing again. Not dramatically cooler or warmer, but somehow different, the air feeling cleaner, lighter. The corridor opens into a small chamber you haven't seen before, a space dedicated entirely to quiet reflection. It's considerably smaller than the other rooms, almost intimate in scale. Where the main bathing rooms were designed to accommodate many people, this space feels intentionally limited, as if it can hold only a handful of souls at once, preserving a sense of solitude even in company. The room is sparsely furnished, but beautifully proportioned. The ceiling is lower here, creating a sense of shelter and protection rather than the soaring grandeur of the larger spaces. The walls are painted a soft, neutral color, perhaps cream or pale ochre, that seems to glow gently in the lamplight. There are no elaborate frescoes here, no complex mosaics demanding attention. The decoration is minimal, allowing the space itself to be the primary feature. Along the walls are several low benches, simple in design but elegantly proportioned. They're made of smooth dark wood, perhaps cypress or cedar, worn to a deep patina by years of use. Each bench is positioned to face inward, toward the center of the room, creating a sense of community among those who sit here, while still allowing for individual privacy and contemplation. In the center of the room stands a small fountain, and it's this feature that immediately draws your attention and your ear. The fountain is modest in size, but exquisite in execution. A carved stone basin supported by a simple pedestal, with water flowing from a bronze spout shaped like a lotus blossom. The water falls in a single, steady stream into the basin below, creating a sound that is simultaneously simple and infinitely complex. You move closer to the fountain and stand before it, watching the water fall. There's something mesmerizing about flowing water, something that captures human attention at a primal level. Perhaps it's because water means life, means survival, means abundance. Or perhaps it's simply the endless variation within apparent sameness. The water falls continuously, yet no two moments are exactly alike. The pattern of ripples changes constantly. The sound fluctuates subtly with tiny variations in flow. It's simultaneously repetitive and novel, familiar and surprising. The sound of the water falling is remarkably soothing. It's not loud. Nothing in this room is loud, but it's present enough to provide a focal point for attention, an anchor for awareness. The splash is soft and musical, a gentle percussion that creates a peaceful acoustic environment. The sound seems to absorb other noises, creating a buffer of white noise that makes the space feel even more separate from the outside world. You notice that you're not alone in this chamber. In the far corner, on one of the wooden benches, sits another person. They're so still that you almost didn't see them at first. A figure wrapped in white linen, sitting in perfect stillness, their posture upright but relaxed, their hands resting gently in their lap. They might be meditating, or praying, or simply sitting in quiet contemplation. Their eyes are closed, their face serene, their breathing so subtle as to be almost imperceptible. They seem like a statue, a permanent fixture of the room, rather than a temporary visitor. Their stillness invites your own. You choose a bench on the opposite side of the room, respecting their solitude while honoring the shared space. You settle onto the smooth wood, finding it comfortable despite the lack of cushioning. The bench is the right height, the right depth, designed with an understanding of human proportions and needs. You arrange yourself in a comfortable seated position, your back straight but not rigid, your shoulders relaxed, your hands resting on your thighs. You close your eyes and simply breathe, allowing yourself to arrive fully in this space, to transition from movement to stillness, from doing to being. The fountain provides a focal point for your attention. With your eyes closed, the sound becomes even more prominent, more detailed. You can hear the water leaving the spout, traveling through air, making contact with the surface of the basin. You can hear the resonance of the basin itself. The way the water's impact creates subtle vibrations in the stone. You can hear the displacement of water as new water arrives, pushing the existing water up against the sides of the basin, where it laps gently before settling. Your breathing has naturally slowed to match the peaceful rhythm of the space. Each inhale is slow and deep, filling your lungs from bottom to top, expanding your ribcage, lifting your collarbones slightly. Each exhale is even slower, releasing completely, emptying fully, creating space for the next breath. There's a natural pause at the end of each exhale, a moment of stillness before the inhale begins again. You rest in these pauses, finding them to be moments of profound peace, tiny eternities between breaths. Your body feels completely relaxed now, released from any need to hold or brace or protect. The massage has left you loose and comfortable, and the warmth of the bathhouse continues to maintain that looseness. Your muscles are soft, your joints are open, your spine is long and easeful. You could sit here for hours without discomfort, you think. The position feels natural, sustainable, right? Your mind, which had grown quiet in the warm rooms and quieter still during the massage, now becomes almost completely still. Thoughts still arise. The mind's nature is to think, after all, but they lack their usual urgency and importance. A thought appears, a memory from earlier in the day, perhaps, or a concern about tomorrow. But instead of engaging with it, analyzing it, following it down its familiar pathways, you simply notice it. You observe it arise, exist for a moment, and then dissolve back into the quiet from which it came. Another thought appears, different from the first, but treated the same way. Notice, observe, release. No judgment, no engagement, no story built around it. Just awareness of thought, as mental phenomenon, as clouds passing through the sky of consciousness. This practice, if it can be called a practice when it feels so effortless, creates a space between you and your thoughts. You realize that you are not your thoughts. You are the awareness that observes thoughts. This distinction, which might seem abstract or philosophical in ordinary circumstances, feels viscerally true in this moment. You are vast and still and present, while thoughts are small and temporary and ultimately inconsequential. The fountain continues its eternal splash, and you return your attention to it whenever you notice your mind wandering. The sound becomes like a mantra, like a sacred phrase repeated endlessly, drawing you deeper into presence, deeper into this moment, deeper into the still point at the center of your being. You become aware of subtle sensations in your body, sensations you normally wouldn't notice because your attention is directed outward, toward external stimuli and demands. You notice the slight pressure where your sitting bones make contact with the wooden bench. You notice the gentle expansion and contraction of your ribcage with each breath. You notice the pulse in your wrists, in your neck, the rhythm of your heartbeat steady and calm. You notice the lingering warmth in your muscles from the massage, the slight tackiness of your skin where traces of oil remain. You notice the sounds beyond the fountain, distant, muted, but present. Somewhere in the bathhouse, water flows through pipes. Somewhere, a door opens and closes softly. Somewhere, voices speak in low tones, their words indistinct but their tone peaceful. These sounds don't disturb your quiet. Instead, they become part of it, woven into the tapestry of this moment. Time continues its strange behavior in this space. You might have been sitting for 5 minutes or 50. There's no way to know and no need to know. The question itself seems irrelevant. There is only this moment, this breath, this stillness. Past and future fade into insignificance. There is only now, stretching out in all directions, infinite and complete. You open your eyes slowly, gently, without disturbing the quality of awareness you've cultivated. The room comes into focus gradually. The soft lamplight, the painted walls, the fountain at the center still performing its eternal dance. The person across the room remains in their meditation, unchanged, as if they've been sitting that way for hours or perhaps for centuries, a permanent guardian of this space's peace. The lamplight creates subtle shadows that shift almost imperceptibly as the flames move. You watch these shadows play across the walls, across the surface of the fountain's basin, across the floor. Everything is in motion, you realize, even in apparent stillness. The light moves, the water moves, the air moves with your breathing. Nothing is truly static. Everything flows, changes, transforms, even while appearing to remain the same. This observation doesn't disturb you or create anxiety about impermanence. Instead, it brings a sense of wonder, of appreciation for the dynamic nature of existence. Everything is always becoming, always in process, always new in each moment. You are not the same person who entered this room minutes ago. The water in the fountain is not the same water that was there moments before. Everything is fresh, original, unprecedented, if you have the awareness to perceive it that way. You notice a slight shift in the quality of your consciousness. Where before your awareness was focused inward, attending to breath and sensation and thought, now it expands outward, taking in the room, the space, the presence of the other person, the architecture, the atmosphere. Your awareness becomes spacious, accommodating, able to hold everything without strain or effort. In this expanded state, you feel connected to everything around you, to the room, to the building, to the other person sitting in silence, to the water in the fountain, to the flame in the lamps, to the air you breathe. The boundaries between self and other seem less solid, less absolute. There's a sense of continuity, of belonging, of being part of something larger than your individual existence. You think about all the people who have sat in this very spot, seeking exactly what you're seeking: peace, quiet, a respite from the noise and demands of the world. How many souls have rested on this bench? How many minds have been calmed by the sound of this fountain? How many hearts have found solace in this small, simple room? Thousands, certainly. Perhaps tens of thousands over the centuries. And you're connected to all of them, part of an unbroken lineage of seekers, of tired souls looking for rest, of restless minds seeking stillness. You are not alone in your need for this. You are not unique in your longing for peace. This is a universal human need, as fundamental as the need for food or shelter or love. The thought brings comfort rather than making you feel small or insignificant. There's solidarity in shared need, strength in common vulnerability. Every person who has sat here carried their own burdens, faced their own challenges, wrestled with their own demons. And every person found, at least for a moment, what you're finding now: a temporary refuge, a small sanctuary, a space where those burdens can be set down, even if just for a little while. You close your eyes again and return to the simple practice of breathing, of listening to the fountain, of being present. The still figure across the room remains motionless, a companion in silence. The fountain continues its endless conversation with itself. The lamps burn steadily, consuming their oil, providing light and a trace of warmth. Your body feels as if it's dissolving into the room, becoming part of the architecture, rooted to the bench, as permanent and peaceful as the stones themselves. Your breathing is so slow now that you barely feel your chest move. Your heartbeat is present but distant, like a drum being played in another room. You rest in this state of profound stillness, profound peace, profound presence. There's nowhere else to be, nothing else to do, no one else to become. You are exactly where you need to be, exactly as you need to be. Complete. Whole. At peace. The Bathhouse has brought you to this point through its careful sequence of experiences. Heat, cold, touch, and now stillness. Each element has prepared you for the next, guiding you deeper into relaxation, deeper into presence, deeper into your own essential nature beneath the layers of identity and anxiety and constant doing. And you understand now why this room exists, why the Romans built spaces not just for bathing, but for contemplation. They understood that physical cleansing is incomplete without mental and spiritual cleansing. They understood that to truly restore a human being, you must attend not just to the body, but to the whole person, body, mind, and spirit integrated and at peace. You sit in grateful silence, receiving this ancient gift, honoring this timeless practice, becoming part of the endless stream of humans seeking what has always been sought: peace, presence, and a temporary freedom from the weight of being human in a complicated world. The fountain splashes softly, the lamp flames dance, the silent figure breathes, and you rest, complete and whole, in this perfect moment that contains everything and asks for nothing. You have been sitting in the contemplation chamber for a time that feels both brief and eternal, existing in that paradoxical state where minutes and hours become indistinguishable. The stillness has settled deep into your bones, into your very cells, creating a quality of peace that feels unshakable, permanent, as if you've touched something fundamental about your own nature and will never entirely lose contact with it again. But gradually, subtly, you become aware of a gentle pull. Not urgent, not demanding, but present nonetheless. It's an invitation from your body, a quiet suggestion that it's time to move, time to return to the water, time to complete another cycle of the evening's ritual. The contemplation has been profound, but something in you knows that the journey isn't finished, that there are more experiences waiting, more gifts to receive from this ancient place. You open your eyes fully and take a moment to orient yourself, to transition from the deep inward focus to a more outward awareness. The room looks the same, the fountain still flowing, the lamps still burning, the peaceful atmosphere unchanged. The figure across the room remains in meditation, and you wonder briefly if they've moved at all, or if they exist somehow outside of time, a permanent resident of this space between spaces. You rise slowly from the wooden bench, your movements careful and deliberate, mindful not to disturb the silence more than necessary. Your body feels different now than it did an hour ago, not just relaxed, but somehow refined, clarified, as if the combination of heat, cold, touch, and stillness has distilled you down to your essence, removing everything extraneous and leaving only what's essential. You leave the contemplation chamber quietly, retracing your steps through the narrow corridor, feeling as though you're emerging from a sacred space, carrying its peace with you like a fragrance that clings to your skin. The corridor opens back into the tepidarium, and you're struck again by how different this room feels each time you enter it. Each visit reveals new aspects, new details, new qualities of light and shadow. But tonight, you're drawn once more to the caldarium, to the hot room, to the embrace of the heated waters. Your body, already profoundly relaxed from the earlier experiences, feels ready now to receive the heat in a completely different way. Where your first visit to the caldarium was about challenging your body, pushing through initial discomfort to reach a state of release, this return visit feels like coming home, like visiting an old friend, like slipping into a familiar embrace. You make your way through the bathhouse toward the caldarium, moving slowly through spaces that are now familiar. The layout makes sense to you now. The relationship between rooms, the flow of traffic, the logic of the design that guides visitors through a journey of temperature and sensation. You pass others moving in various directions, each following their own rhythm, their own needs, their own internal compass. As you approach the caldarium, you can feel the temperature rising, the air growing heavier with moisture. The sound of water becomes more prominent, that constant trickling from the bronze fountain, the gentle lapping against the pool's edges, the occasional splash as someone shifts position or enters the water. These sounds welcome you, call to you, promise you something you need even if you can't quite name what it is. You enter the caldarium and pause for a moment to take it in. The steam is thicker now than it was earlier in the evening, or perhaps it just seems that way because the night outside has deepened, making the contrast between the misty interior and the clear darkness beyond more pronounced. The lamplight diffuses through the steam, creating halos and aureoles, making the space feel even more dreamlike, more otherworldly than before. The pool beckons. You can see the water's surface through shifting veils of steam, dark and inviting, rippling gently with subtle currents. You remove the linen cloth you've been wrapped in and set it aside in a dry spot, then approach the water slowly, savoring the anticipation, the moment before immersion when the body prepares itself for the transition. This time, there's no hesitation, no shock of adjustment. Your body remembers the heat, welcomes it, opens to it immediately. You step into the water, and it receives you like a lover, warm and enveloping and utterly accepting. You descend the steps one at a time, but not because you need to adjust, simply because moving slowly feels right, feels appropriate to the quality of this moment. The water rises up your body, ankles, calves, knees, thighs, each area warming instantly, muscles softening, joints loosening. By the time you're waist deep, you can feel your entire body responding with a kind of grateful recognition. This is what you needed. This is why you were drawn back here. The heat penetrating deep, reaching places that the massage loosened but didn't fully release, completing the work of restoration. You continue until the water reaches your chest, then your shoulders. You find a different spot than before, near one of the walls where warm water flows in from a hidden channel, creating a gentle current that massages your back as you settle against the pool's edge. The current is subtle but constant, a liquid touch that feels almost intentional, almost caring. You tilt your head back against the warm marble and let your body float, arms extended, legs drifting upwards slightly with the water's buoyancy. The position is one of complete surrender, complete trust. You are held entirely by the water, supported without effort, freed from gravity's constant demand that you hold yourself upright, that you maintain your structure against the pull toward Earth. The feeling is extraordinary. This sense of weightlessness, of suspension, of being between states. You're not quite floating and not quite submerged, existing in a liminal space that the water creates and maintains. Your body remembers this sensation from the womb, perhaps from that first experience of liquid suspension, of being held completely and safely before the trauma of birth thrust you into the world of air and weight and separation. Your eyes close naturally, and without the distraction of sight, your other senses become more acute, more refined. The heat against your skin is not uniform. You notice subtle variations, slightly warmer near the inlet where fresh hot water flows in, slightly cooler near the surface where the air provides some cooling effect. These variations create a kind of thermal landscape that your body reads and responds to instinctively. The sound of water is everywhere, omnipresent, but instead of being monotonous, you discover infinite variety within it. The fountain's steady trickle remains constant, but overlaid on that bass note are dozens of other water sounds, dripping from the ceiling where condensation has gathered, lapping against the pool's sides with different rhythms depending on the depth and proximity to walls, the soft gurgling of water flowing through channels, the occasional larger splash when someone enters or exits the pool. These sounds blend together into a complex symphony, a water music that's been playing in this space for centuries, that will continue playing long after you're gone. You let yourself sink into this soundscape, let it surround you and permeate you, until you can't tell where the sound ends and your awareness of it begins. You become the sound, or the sound becomes you, and the distinction ceases to matter. Your breathing has slowed even more than it was in the contemplation chamber. Each breath is so deep and so slow that you can feel your entire torso expanding with the inhale, ribs spreading, belly softening, chest rising. The exhale takes even longer, a slow, steady release that seems to go on forever, emptying you completely before the next inhale arrives naturally, without effort or intention. The steam moves above you in its eternal dance, and even with your eyes closed, you can sense its movement, its presence. It's like a living thing, this steam, constantly in motion, constantly transforming from water to vapor and back again, cycling endlessly between states. You feel a kinship with it somehow, recognizing in its constant transformation something that mirrors your own experience of change and flow. Your mind, which achieved such stillness in the contemplation chamber, remains quiet but not empty. Thoughts arise occasionally, but they're different now, softer, less insistent, more like gentle observations than demanding narratives. A thought appears, gratitude for this experience, for this place, for the ability to be here in this moment. The thought doesn't need to be analyzed or expanded upon. It simply is, and then it dissolves, leaving behind a residue of warm feeling. Another thought, awareness of your physical body, how different it feels now compared to when you first arrived hours ago. The chronic tension in your shoulders gone. The tightness in your lower back released. The subtle anxiety that usually hums in the background of your consciousness quieted, if not entirely absent. You've been transformed by this place, by this sequence of experiences, in ways both obvious and subtle. You become aware of the other people in the caldarium, though you can't see them through the steam and your closed eyes. Their presence is marked by sound and by the movement of water. Someone sighs contentedly, their exhale audible across the pool. Someone else shifts position, creating ripples that reach you moments later, gentle undulations against your floating body. These presences are comforting rather than intrusive. You're alone together, each person in their own private experience, while also sharing this communal space. The heat continues its work, but it feels different now than during your first visit. Then, it was intense, challenging, something to endure before you could relax into it. Now, it's simply where you are, what you're experiencing, neither good nor bad, but simply present. Your body has accommodated to it so completely that the heat feels like your natural state, and you can't imagine being cold, can't imagine the shock of the frigidarium that you experienced earlier. This acceptance, this complete accommodation to present circumstances without resistance or wishing things were different. This is a kind of wisdom that the body teaches when we're willing to listen. The body doesn't argue with what is. It simply responds, adjusts, finds equilibrium. And in this moment, floating in the heated waters of an ancient bathhouse, you feel that wisdom operating in you, through you. Time loses all meaning again. You might have been floating for 2 minutes or 20. There's no way to know, and no need to know. The only measure of time that matters is the quality of your experience, and that quality is one of deepening peace, deepening presence, deepening surrender to the moment exactly as it is. You notice subtle sensations you've never noticed before. The pulse in your wrists where your arms float at the water's surface. The slight pressure differential between the parts of your body submerged deeper versus those floating nearer the surface. The gentle movement of your hair swaying in the water's currents like seaweed swaying in ocean currents. Your face, above the water, feels the contrast between the hot moisture of the steam and the relatively cooler air. This contrast creates a pleasant tingling sensation on your skin, a reminder that you exist at the boundary between elements, water and air, heat and relative coolness, liquid and gas. Deep in your core, you can feel your organs functioning, doing their quiet work. Your heart beating steadily, your lungs expanding and contracting, your digestive system processing, your blood circulating through miles of vessels. Usually, we're unaware of these internal processes, but in this state of deep relaxation and heightened awareness, you can sense them, feel grateful for them, appreciate the miracle of your body's constant, unconscious labor to keep you alive. A profound sense of well-being settles over you. Not happiness exactly, not joy, but something deeper and more stable. Contentment, perhaps. Equanimity. A bone-deep satisfaction with existence itself, regardless of circumstances or conditions. In this moment, you want for nothing. You lack nothing. You are complete exactly as you are, exactly where you are. The Caldarium has given you this gift again, but differently than before. The first time, it was the gift of release, of letting go of tension and stress. This time, it's the gift of acceptance, of being at home in your own body, in your own experience, in your own life. Both are necessary. Both are healing. Both are expressions of the wisdom that this ancient place embodies and offers to all who enter with open hearts and willing bodies. You hear someone enter the Caldarium, their footsteps cautious on the wet stone, their breathing audible as they adjust to the heat. You recognize that sound, that slight gasp, that moment of, "Oh, it's hotter than I expected." You remember feeling that way yourself, earlier this evening, and you smile inwardly at how much you've changed in just a few hours, how your capacity to receive and accommodate experience has expanded. The new arrival descends into the pool, and you hear their sigh of relief, their body finding its place in the water. And you feel connected to them in that moment. This stranger whose face you haven't seen, whose name you don't know, but who is sharing this experience with you, who is seeking the same things you're seeking, who is receiving the same gifts this ancient place has to offer. The water continues to hold you. The heat continues to penetrate. The steam continues to rise. And you float in perfect suspension, perfectly present, perfectly at peace, receiving everything this moment has to offer and giving nothing but your presence in return. There is nowhere else to be, nothing else to do, no other version of yourself to become. Just this water, this heat, this breath, this body, this moment, this profound and simple peace. And it is enough. It has always been enough. It will always be enough. You float, suspended in warmth and water and timelessness, held by forces older than memory, cared for by traditions that have survived millennia, at rest in a way that goes beyond mere physical relaxation, to touch something essential about what it means to be human, to be alive, to be here, now, exactly as you are. The Caldarium embraces you completely, asking nothing, offering everything, and you surrender to its ancient wisdom with gratitude and grace. You breathe deeply, and with every breath, you feel lighter. Slowly, the columns around you soften into glowing mist. The moon blurs into warm light. And once again, the drifting library gathers you back into its calm embrace. You return the book to its pedestal. Its cover closes with a faint whisper, like a page turning itself to sleep. You lie down in a cozy nook between the shelves. Lantern light dims. Your breath becomes slow and even, and the wandering library drifts quietly on, carrying you gently into dreams. Good night.